Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We have started with the neuroanatomy classes. In this class we will see the important topic lateral ventricles. So if you see this lateral ventricles, it is an important essay in the neuroanatomy. So we will see this in detail in this class. Lateral ventricles we will see under the following headings: introduction, parts of lateral ventricle, boundaries of different parts of lateral ventricle, and its choroid plexus and the fissure, and also the applied anatomy. There are two lateral ventricles, one in each cerebral hemisphere. It is lined with ependyma and filled with cerebrospinal fluid. It has a capacity of about 7 to 10 ml. If you see the shape of the lateral ventricle, it is roughly C-shaped cavity within each cerebral hemisphere. The lateral ventricle wraps itself around the thalamus, lentiform nucleus, and the caudate nucleus. If you see, this is the shape of the lateral ventricle, C-shaped. It is wrapping around the thalamus. If you see here, it will be the caudate nucleus. So it wraps around the thalamus and the caudate nucleus. The main parts of two ventricles are separated from each other by a septum. So you are seeing here, this is the corpus callosum. This is the septum pellucidum, which extends from the corpus callosum and the fornix. They separate the main parts of the two lateral ventricles. So that is the partition between the lateral ventricles. Communication, if you see, each lateral ventricle communicates with the third ventricle through this interventricular foramen of Monro. So this is the interventricular foramen of Monro. For descriptive purposes, each lateral ventricle is divided into four parts. You are seeing here, this is the lateral ventricle and this is the third ventricle. Communication is called the interventricular foramen of Monro. So what are the four parts? If you see, this is the main part, this is the extension in front, this is the extension behind, and this is the extension below. So they are the four parts. Central part are the body, and this is the anterior horn, and this is the posterior horn, and this is the inferior horn. So we have to see each part of the lateral ventricle and its relations. Situation. First we will see the central part. Lies mostly within the parietal lobe. Extends from the interventricular foramen in front to the splenium of corpus callosum behind. So that is the extent of central part of lateral ventricle. Shape. It is triangular in shape in coronal section. Boundaries, it has a roof and floor and also a medial wall. We will see this one by one. Roof, it is easily understood. It is formed by the undersurface of the body of the corpus callosum. Floor, before that medial wall. Medial wall is also simple, formed by the septum pellucidum. So this is the roof. So this is the central part. So central part roof is the body of corpus callosum. Medial wall is septum pellucidum, which is removed to show the roof and floor. If you see the floor, this is the floor from lateral to medial. So this is from lateral to medial. What you are seeing, this is the this mass. This is the caudate nucleus. This is the head of caudate nucleus. This is the body of caudate nucleus. And here is the next to the caudate nucleus we will have the thalamus. So all these forms the floor. Floor slopes downwards from lateral to medial side and is formed in that order by body of caudate nucleus and the lateral part of the upper surface of thalamus. In between them, stria terminalis and the thalamostriate vein. Choroid plexus also forms the floor, covering the medial part of upper surface of thalamus and in most medially upper surface of the body of fornix. They come under the floor. So again we will see under this diagram. So this is each lateral ventricle. So you are seeing this is the lateral ventricle and this is the third ventricle. This is the roof of lateral ventricle. What is that? Body of corpus callosum. Floor from lateral to medial side. So lateral to medial side, this is the body of caudate nucleus and upper surface of the body of thalamus. In between that, stria terminalis and thalamostriate vein, and also choroid plexus and the body of fornix. So this from medial to lateral side, this is the floor. Now we will see the anterior horn. It is the anterior extension of the lateral ventricle from the central part into the frontal lobe. So it is in front of interventricular foramen and behind the posterior surface of the genu of corpus callosum. So what will be the anterior boundary of anterior horn? Genu of corpus callosum. Roughly triangular in shape on coronal section. It also has roof, floor, medial wall and also one more anterior wall. So now you can see in this. Yes, this is the anterior horn. What is in front? Genu. So that will form the anterior wall. Above is corpus, then the body of corpus callosum. Below is rostrum and also the head of caudate nucleus. Medial wall will be again by the septum pellucidum. Roof formed by the undersurface of the anterior part of the body of corpus callosum. Floor formed by the upper surface of the rostrum of corpus callosum and bulging head of caudate nucleus. Yes, this is again the anterior horn. Anterior horn. Roof is formed by the corpus callosum. Medial wall is formed by the septum pellucidum. Anterior wall formed by the genu of corpus callosum. Medial wall formed by the septum pellucidum. So we have completed the anterior horn. Now we will see the posterior horn. Posterior horn is the backward extension from the central part into the occipital lobe towards the occipital pole. Quadrangular or diamond shaped in coronal section. Boundaries. It has roof and floor, medial and lateral walls. Roof and lateral wall formed by the white matter of cerebrum, that is formed by the fibers of tapetum, that is from the body of corpus callosum, and also posteriorly sweeping fibers of optic radiation. So this is the posterior horn. What is the roof? Here this is the white matter, that is the tapetum and optic radiation. Now we will see the floor of posterior horn. Floor and medial wall. Two elevations are present. Upper of this elevation is, one is bulb of posterior horn, that is formed by the fibers of forceps major. Another elevation is calcar avis, which is produced by the anterior part of the calcarine sulcus. So this is the posterior horn. So if you see in the floor, two projections. One is formed by this calcarine sulcus, that is the calcar avis, and another is this bulb of posterior horn formed by the forceps major. So two elevations, upper elevation and lower elevation in the floor of the posterior horn. So this calcarine fissure extends up to the ventricle. So it will be the complete sulci. Inferior horn, it is the direct continuation of the main ventricular cavity into the temporal lobe. It is the largest of the three horns. It begins where the central part and the posterior horn meet. It curves around the pulvinar of thalamus into the temporal lobe to end about 2.5 cm behind the temporal pole. Situation of inferior horn lies more or less parallel to the superior temporal sulcus. On coronal section, it appears as a transverse slit. Boundaries, it has roof and floor. Roof is formed by the tapetum of corpus callosum in the lateral part. If you see in the medial part, by the tail of caudate nucleus, amygdaloid body and stria terminalis. Floor of inferior horn presents lateral to medial side. One is collateral eminence. It is formed by collateral sulcus. In the posterior horn, we have seen the calcarine sulcus forming the calca ravis. Here, this collateral sulcus, intermediate part of the collateral sulcus, forms an elongated elevation that is called the collateral eminence. What is collateral trigone? Posterior part of this eminence forms flattened part, where the floor of the posterior horn and inferior horn meet. It is called as collateral trigone. If you see, this is the inferior horn. Roof in the medial part formed by the tail of caudate nucleus, and it will be ending in the amygdaloid body. If you see the floor it is formed by the collateral eminence and also by the hippocampus. Floor, hippocampus, limbic system. It is belonging to limbic system. This longitudinal elevation is medial to collateral eminence. Presents an enlarged anterior end that is called as pes hippocampi. Hippocampus is covered by alveus, which is the projection fiber of hippocampus. So these fibers of alveus only form the fimbria that forms the fornix. So this may be asked as short notes, hippocampus or pes hippocampus or the fimbria or the fornix. So I have covered in short about the hippocampus also. So this is the inferior horn, which is having the pes hippocampi, which is giving fibers to the fimbria of the hippocampus in the floor of inferior horn. So again in this cut section you can see nicely, this is the pes hippocampus in the floor of inferior horn. Floor more medially occupied by the choroid plexus, which extends into the inferior horn through the choroid fissure. So we have completed the parts of lateral ventricle, 4 parts, that is in the main part, and also the 3 horns in detail and its relations also. Now we will see the choroid plexus of lateral ventricle. This choroid plexus enter the lateral ventricle through the central part and the inferior horn. So through which it invaginates into the lateral ventricle, it is called choroid fissure. So we will conclude this lateral ventricle with the applied anatomy. How to approach the lateral ventricle. Surgical approach to the inferior horn. A needle is introduced into the inferior horn at a point 2-3 cm behind and 3 cm above the center of external acoustic meatus, passed in the direction of apex of opposite auricle at a depth of about 5 cm from the surface. Then we can reach the inferior horn of the lateral ventricle. Ventricles, not only lateral ventricles, any ventricle we can use this applied anatomy. They will be visualized through ventriculography. So that is taking X-rays of the ventricles by the opaque media, or air encephalography. Nowadays these are all replaced by the CT scan or the MRI. So we have covered the lateral ventricle in detail. So this is an important question in neuroanatomy. Those who have not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe now. Keep watching the videos. With the third ventricle and the fourth ventricle, we will see in the next class. Thank you.